Yo.
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 175.
175. That's insane. That's actually insane if you really think about it.
Mm-hmm. That's a damn near a full year. We could have, when we hit that 365 mark, it's an episode every day of the year. Somebody's going to have to marathon it for us.
Yeah. Give us a highlight reel.
Yeah. The intro took a while because Fluff and I were talking about the mechanic for the new thing and trying to figure out exactly how it worked.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. We'll get into that. What have you been up to this week? What are you doing? Everyone's wondering where you are. What's going on?
I'm working. What do you mean? Where am I? Working.
Exhausting. Where are we supposed to go for the okayest variety stream?
I don't know, but somewhere, I did one a couple weeks ago. We'll have to try to get back into it. I got 7:30 a.m.s, man. Like I can't stay up till 1 o'clock like I was. Like tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. It's craziness. Should calm down in a couple weeks, but I've got some big boy things going on at my job. So
okay.
We just bought Blizzard.
You did? Wow. I guess you have been busy.
I personally signed the check. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. No. Great.
Pretty cool. But how about you? How was we got back from skiing last week. What's this week? You didn't go anywhere?
Just, had some good time with friends. So, doing some St. Patty's stuff this weekend. I got myself a kilt. Excited for that.
Okay. All right.
Little,
okay.
Irish flair.
What are you wearing under the kilt? Whitey tighties?
Boxer briefs. I don't have any
whitey tighties.
I don't even own a pair.
I know, but you got to rock some whitey tighties.
I swear to God, ever since that hot yoga that I did with the guy who was wearing the whitey tighties, I'm haunted. I'm literally haunted by whitey tighties.
I had a friend. I guess it was my 40th. When I turned 40, I had some people over. One of my friends bought me a gift, and I was kind of excited because you don't get gifts anymore when you're an adult. And I was like, "Oh, cool! What did he get me?" And like, this guy's a gamer. I'm like, maybe he got me something actually cool. And I opened it up, and it was a package of whitey tighties.
That's so thoughtful.
Yeah, I know. A big funny joke. They were like huge too. Like 2 people could fit in them. But
dang,
pretty funny.
Have you and your wife tried, or?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Nice.
Naked whitey tighty smash session.
Wait,
what? So, yeah, that's it. Nothing else going on here.
Okay. Well, should we get into it?
Let's do it. Well, what do we got for the polls?
All right. Okay, so last week we asked a non-gaming question. So it's the first time ever we asked a IRL question, basically. So New Meta Podcast question of the week: would you date a gamer? Option 1, nah, that's me time. Option 2, hell yes. Option 3, ambivalent. And
I can't believe that hell yes won. I really can't.
Coming in at the rank one by far, 69.4% of the vote is hell yes.
That's crazy.
22% says ambivalent. 8% says nah, that's me time. Huh?
The 8% is correct.
This just makes me think that 70% of the people that voted have never had a girlfriend that games. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's one of those moments where you think you do, but you don't. I think that actually falls in that category.
I don't know. I think you and I have just had really negative experiences, but I'm sure there's unicorns out there.
I don't think mine was negative. I just think that I know I need that check. I'm a straight crack addict when it comes to games. I don't have that off switch, man. I will cease to be responsible, and my wife, and when she was my girlfriend, was my check for that. She was like, are you serious? You've been going at this for 80 hours this week, and I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, So.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think that's a good balance of things when you date a non-gamer. Like, hey, you want to go out Saturday? And you're like, well, not really, but I know that I should, so yeah.
I know. And if it was a gamer, you'd be like, what are we doing Saturday? We're raiding?
Yeah.
We're grinding? Whatever game you're playing at the moment, it's going ham.
Could be unhealthy. Just be big fat fatties together.
I know. Just got laid off. Oh, that sucks. Let's go play games.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm
What did
surprised
you
it's not
vote?
more split. I can't vote on my own.
Okay, what would you have voted?
I would have voted. I want to like be open minded and say ambivalent, but based on my past experiences, I would say nah. That's me time probably.
Mhm.
But I want to believe that like there could be a dream scenario out there where it could work. I don't really know.
Well, you know, it'd be funny. It'd be like these guys are like, hell yes, and then you're like, okay, and you meet this girl, and she's like, I'm a gamer, and you're like, yes, I love you, and then she's like, pulls out her phone and starts playing Candy Crush.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
She's like, I'm a gamer.
Broken.
You're like, no, I like this. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've met girls like that in the past, like, you know.
I mean, listen, I don't
plus.
care. My wife plays Candy Crush. She's not a gamer, by the way, but she
Right.
plays Candy Crush.
But
She
I've met
did.
girls
I don't
that
know if
says
she
like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer too. Like, cool, okay, like what do you play? And they're like, well, Pokemon Go, you know.
Okay.
And that's, you know, that doesn't count here.
Pokemon Go is more. It's better than like Candy Crush, though.
Okay,
I
a
mean-
little bit.
It's a step up. It's definitely a step up. I'm not saying that you're. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be a gamer snob, but
I'm
it's
a
hard
gamer
to say
snob.
you're.
I've straight up
you're a
said like when
gamer
they're like, oh, I'm a gamer. Well, what do you play? Pokemon Go. I'm like, oh, you're not a gamer. I say that straight up every time.
I don't know, man.
Unapologetic. But
What
yeah.
if it? Okay, so what if it was other? What if it was just Pokemon games in general? Like you're playing the 3DS and Switch games and stuff.
I mean, I would expect like the majority
You're a gamer
of like somewhat normal females, if they did game, it would be stuff like Sims, Animal Crossing, Pokemon Go.
Jesus, man.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is just a survey of women I've dated over a long period of time. Okay, this isn't like all women are like this. I'm just saying. In general, the ones that you like, oh, okay, cool, you do game, and then you've got like the list of 5.
Okay.
Saying. Is that sexist?
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe a lot. I'm dying over here, man. Oh yeah. I mean, you might be right though. You know, patterns might be true.
Yeah.
So
It's just my experience. It's just an opinion on the internet.
Yep.
And then go ahead.
You know, that's it. That's
Okay.
What do we I'm still dying over here. What do we have for this week, man? What you
This
got for us?
week, no surprise, new Meta Podcast question of the week. What do you think of Diablo 3's PTR patch for season 26? Option 1, poggers. Option 2, meh. Option 3, dog shit is. Tweet that out and you guys can vote on it.
I actually, so the backstory to those questions, if you listen to the pre-pod, you'll actually see how that came up. I dared Fluff. I think he wouldn't put dog shit is. I said he won't do it, and he actually did it.
Yeah.
Proud of you, man.
Do I strike you as a person that's like fearful or
No, but I
Okay.
knew if I said it, you would do
Okay.
it. So I just wanted it to be on there, and it's like one of those things where it's like I know if I say he won't do it, he guaranteed will.
True. But, diving right into just that. So if you guys been living under a rock, D3 just came out with PTR. It literally just went live, I think like 2 or 3 p.m. today. So just like 6-7 hours ago. And yeah, there's some juicy updates here. And there is, quote, new endgame to activity. And we'll dive into that in just a sec. But let's just kind of break it down from the tippy top of the
We
mountain
got
here.
things and stuff.
So
all
the
the things and stuff.
seasonal theme is basically there's a currency item that drop. I'm in D3 right now, so I can just show it for people that are watching and not listening. Maybe it's just lagging out. I love PTR.
PTR is like run on the old WoW classic
Come
Blade
on,
servers
dude.
that they retired, right? They're like, hey, we can give these to the Diablo team, right?
Well, I was gonna showcase.
Okay, so
what
you
it looks
can't
like.
showcase it yet. Maybe
Yeah.
in like 10 minutes.
Sure.
Wait, did it pop up as you
No.
tapped? Oh no, okay. The dreams.
Well, yeah. So it's like a currency thing. I mean, I haven't gotten the drop out of like a rift or anything like that, so we don't know. I don't know what the drop rate is or whatever, but it can come off the Goat Man. Like you can buy it off the Goat Man. He's got a thing. I don't know why I keep all tapping back because it's completely lagged out. But yeah, you put that into the cube and it opens up What some long-term players might find very, 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 very familiar, and just my short experiences, you open it up and it's a lot like a trial key run. It's kind of endless waves. And
it's a new map. I actually expected the same map when I first read the PTR. I really
the map's in there,
bring...
just so you know. It is.
Oh, is it? It's a rotation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the PV. For people that really, really know D3, it's the PvP maps. So basically, the map that they had originally intended for PvP that never really got used, but now they're kind of reusing those assets, basically.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm glad they did.
Why not? But yeah, so you go in and you have a bar on your right, and it's kind of like a rift or a greater rift bar, but not exactly. So when it fills up, it's not from your progress; it's from like you failing. So if that bar reaches the tippy top, you've been quote overwhelmed, and then it is over. So what happens is, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like it was based off the number of mobs in the area, and so as those mobs would spawn, that bar would go up, and as you would kill them, it would go down. So yeah, it seemed like it was a mob count.
Correct. And so when you finish it, depending on what level you finished up until 100, which we just kind of discovered right before the stream started, say I did up to the wave 37, I get a level 37 Whisper of Atonement, and now this is a legendary gem technically, but it obviously doesn't do anything, so you wouldn't want to sock it into your gear. I don't even know if you could actually. Actually, it says right there, cannot be inserted into any item sockets. So it's literally just a currency item that you could burn to augment your gear. And if you go over wave 100, you get a max level of 100 that you can just throw on any piece of gear.
Mm-hmm. So thoughts on that are, this is this solves an issue that has been compounded every season with Diablo, in that, think about if we go back to when augmenting first was introduced, you would level your gems up and maybe you would augment your gear with 80 gems or 85 gems or something to that effect. And then you might take that gear, and then as you push further in the season, maybe you would do 100s, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like you're augmenting 130s and maybe even higher, depending on how group comped your play is. But the difference in the amount of rifts you have to run to get an 85 gem and a 130 gem is pretty insane. And then when you factor that onto your, 13 pieces of gear that you can equip, that's a lot of runs. I mean, that takes significantly longer to fully augment. So this issue has been there for a while. This is a cool mechanic that will help you get past that to an extent. But then it seems like they power capped it. They artificially power capped it for the season by saying, it can only do to 100s. Though.
Right.
So part of me is like, that's cool. They power capped it so everybody's not running around with 150 gems. Part of me is like, well, if you're a solo guy, this was your mechanic to catch up and actually be able to get those juicy augments, maybe not in a group setting.
Right.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on the cap?
Oh man, I have so many thoughts. So yeah, I think that in terms of Diablo 3 used to be all about even playing field, right? And so if you worked harder, you would just beat your fellow man, and then higher Paragon means higher rank on the leaderboard. But nowadays, this game's like just rampant with bots and powers out of the window. I don't know. None of that really matters anymore. So yeah, I think that this was kind of like maybe nice for those players that have never been able to get 150 gem ups or augments to finally be able to do that. If they could go into 150 plus clears inside of this new, trial session. So that's kind of meh in my opinion. I don't like that it's capped at 100. But two, I think this is just kind of meh in general. And I honestly, when I read the patch notes and initially saw this mechanic, I know it that keyword new endgame activity. I was excited, but then I'm like, well, what is really being introduced to the game here? So you go in and you do trials again, which is fine. I don't mind them reusing old assets. That's not what I'm complaining about. It's just what you're doing. So you're doing this endless waves to get a free augment, and so you're going to augment your gear crazy fast.
And
Okay.
loot, it seems too. You still get loot.
You still get loot, which is
we
like the
don't
equivalent
know.
of a GR, basically.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's is it gonna drop like I'm assuming because I saw you doing 130s, right? So let's say that you're doing that 130. Is that gonna be the equivalent gear cap of what's the gear cap at? I can't remember now. 100-ish, 110, where it drops max pieces and all that. So it's like this seems to me like it would be a straight up replacement if the experience is equivalent to GRs, to running GRs. You're just gonna blast this really fast, and then unless it takes too long, that's the time factor is the only thing.
I would assume that this would be like way more rare than like a obviously.
Oh yeah, I
GR.
guess true. I'm also thinking it because we were able to get the gems from Dank Meme,
Right?
So yeah, we'll have to see how much they drop.
But yeah, to me, it's like you've got this, quote unquote, new end game activity, but there's nothing really new coming with it. So it's like we're not introducing anything new here. I think that is kind of dull. Like we're getting augments, which for your like really casual player, which I understand is like 99.9% of Diablo 3 players, or your kind of filthy casual players. And so it's nice for them to be able to get augments, without a ton of effort and ton of time investment. But like the players, that go ham for those first 2-3 weeks, they're literally just going to be even like faster done with their gear, within days. Like it's going to be fully auged. It's going to be...
There's going to be communities for this that forum where they're going to, just like the vaults and stuff, we're going to say, hey, I got whatever the item's Echoing Nightmare or whatever it's called. I need 3 people to join up and carry me, or, just I'll carry you in it or whatever.
Yeah. So to me, I think the opportunity is missed here. So you say you're in a greater rift and you get this stone. It's like, okay, cool. Now I can go do this endless wave thing. And then you're going into the endless wave thing. And the intent should be like, I'm going to get some new exciting thing. But instead what happens is you're getting like an augment, which you would get anyways. It's just going to be like faster. So it's like nothing new or exciting really about it whatsoever. And I think this goes back to, Chris Wilson, his GDC talk, which we bring up time and time again, where he's like, we spend 30% of our time on stuff that like 10% of our audience can even do. So I would like to see something that's like, like, again, I'm always going to go back to the corruption idea, like maybe a corruption item inside of this GR as a reward, and you could like slam your gear or something. Like there's got to be like something that's just like worth getting excited for, not just like an augment.
Give these, a big thing of this depends, I guess, on the drop rate of these Echoing Nightmares, because if they're super common, and I think they should be a little bit for us to be able to see the content. But at the same time, you could put rewards in that area that are unique to that area. Like put primal dust in there or something that you can augment and upgrade an ancient item to primal.
Even that would be better.
Yeah. I mean, and just have those. So that way, when you get the Echoing Nightmare, you get excited. You're like, oh shit. Like, oh, I got a thing. Exactly. Let's go.
And then because like what you said, it said you're going to get one, and it's going to be like, well, do I need an augment right now? Not really.
It's just like a puzzle ring, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you get a puzzle ring.
Perfect example.
You get a puzzle ring in early season, like 1 or 2 of them. Yeah. You're like, yo, let's go. Yeah. Because you're just starting to hit max torment level, and you're like, I need the gold, and maybe I can use a drop or 2 out of there. But after a couple hours, for most players, you're just like, oh, okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But if this dropped a primal dust, if this dropped a corruption item, if this did something new, I'm with you, man. You get it, and you'd be like, oh, there it is, boys, let's go. And then on top of that, you have the ability to share it with friends. If you get one, you could be like, hey guys, I just got this. Yo, log in. Let's do this thing.
Totally.
So I'm with you on that. I think that this is so I'm going to revert back to what the Diablo 3 team has done historically. I think that they are finding extremely clever ways to reuse the assets they have available in the game. And I commend them for that, because if you historically look at past seasons and the themes, it's all recycling things to put a shine on it and make it feel good. And it's actually worked pretty well. I think the exception to that was probably the ethereal weapons. I mean, the skins were even reused on them, but I
think ethereal weapons were pretty well received.
Yeah. No. I'm
Okay.
saying that no, I'm not. I think that was probably one of the best seasons.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying from a recycled assets base, because if you think about it,
Yeah.
if your weapons had recycled skins
Mm-hmm.
and they had more affixes on them, but it's kind of the same content. If you look at the circles on the ground for the season of, I don't even remember what they
Circles
called it.
on the ground.
Circles on the ground, right? Like the circles were literally the Oculus circles that formed.
Different
so
colors,
they just themed them, right? If you look at what did we get?
Kill
What was last season?
streaks, like
Yeah, kill streaks,
kind of like weapon procs that were reused.
Yeah, so it's like there's a thing there where it seems like the team's like, hey, we don't have tons of resources. What can we use? What do we have assets to that we can manipulate and make a good season out of? And this follows suit. I think it's a cool thing. With you though, man, I wish they would have had a little bit of extra juice in the rewards if it's just gonna be kind of like Greater Rift rewards with augments.
Yeah,
I do appreciate it though, because that is one of the biggest pain points to me in Diablo right now is augmenting my gear. And if this gets me a quick level 100 set of augments, well, then maybe I just roll with that the whole season, except for the juicy ones I'll get.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only way this somewhat excites me is if, like, I'm thinking of, I want to push every single leaderboard on the Necro. Well, I need to augment all those gear sets.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, like that'll be useful. But still, like you
there's
said,
still
you're gonna
time for
you're gonna hit that
feedback.
wall. Yeah.
Yeah. There's still time for feedback, and I would be super surprised if the reward system changed, because those would be whole new mechanics. What we're talking about are whole new mechanics.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard it would be for any of it, but I think the primal material that you could throw into a Kanai cube with an ancient item and then it would come out primal would be a pretty good win, I feel. For something like this. Do I think it's the best mechanic ever? No. But I think it might be the most doable mechanic.
Right.
It would be one of the most doable mechanics of the suggestions I've seen. So
I think that ultimately this goes back to like the thing that I keep saying time and time again is like there's just no feeling of wanting to spend all your time like the main stat grind is one of the most least exciting experiences in any ARPG. And once you have your ancients or some primals and you've got them fully auged, there's really no drive that you have to really custom tailor your character to like be better for your build. So, I mean, I would love to see something that like it's more of a time dump. Like you want to log in, you want to keep going because like, oh, I can get something on my chest that's going to be like better for my build or just something that's like makes it worth your time other than +5 intelligence like once every 5 hours. It's just
and I think from a win standpoint, Echoing Nightmares need to drop pretty consistently because it's geared toward the casual anyways.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a mechanic. Honestly, the only reward from there is the augment, and the augment's only level 100. That's got to be geared towards the casual,
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gearing that towards the casuals, they need to drop, because if they don't drop, then who's really taking advantage of the system? Nobody.
Yeah. Your hardcores are just going to get like more augments.
Yeah, the drop rates needs to be pretty high. But it is something else to do. I mean, for the weekend season blast, it could be pretty fun.
Yeah, it'll definitely change up the start of the season. There's no question about that.
And if you get one, if I'm assuming they can drop while you're leveling. Actually, maybe not. You can't do greater rifts while you're leveling. Yeah, so I guess not. That's kind of sad. So.
But yeah, other than that, there have been some. I think the more meaningful changes here was we've had maps removed from the GR pool. The sewers of Chaldeum and hidden aqueducts are now gone from GRs.
Thank you.
Best change ever.
Wait, did they say they removed Juggernaut? Oh no, it's not.
And they have added Fields of Misery, Desolate Sands, and Briarthorn Cemetery, which are all fantastic maps that we never saw in GRs.
There we go. Thank you.
Yes. The probability of greater rip maps have been adjusted, so hopefully that means higher probability to get the better ones. I don't know. And then Monster XP has been changed, and this could actually shift up things quite a bit because we're so trained. I don't even remember what that site is where you like pick between the two. It gives more XP. It's been that way for like 8 years. So shifting up what mobs give XP, I think could be pretty interesting. Maybe
Moon Clan Impalers better give like absolute
insane.
crap tons, dude. It should be stupid
Right.
how much they give. Where are the Leapers at? I don't see them on there. They didn't buff those.
The what?
The Leapers, the tongue lashers,
Oh,
sorry, and Leapers. I don't even know what their real name is now. I called them tongue lashers for so long.
Lacoonies and tongue lashers.
Are they actually called tongue lashers? Okay.
Yeah, they're tongue lashers.
Yeah.
And then this one's awesome. Like a little quality of life that snuck in there. You can close the GR in solo player.
Yeah,
games.
solo. That's cool.
Yeah. So no more leave remake, D2 style. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Other than that, some quality of life for PTR and testing. That's fantastic, except for maybe PTR should actually work. I don't understand. And then the class changes. So Raycor got a kind of a little bit of a rework here. The big thing here, 4-piece now, for every 1% of your life missing, damage of Ancient Spear is increased by 2%. And Fury Change gains the effective everyone deals increased damage, which is not new. But
yeah,
I don't know how I feel about extra damage for life missing.
Yeah, I personally read that, and that didn't excite me whatsoever, because if my life's missing, that's a bad thing.
And again, the D3 audience is like casual. Are we wanting to encourage players to keep their life low? I don't know.
I don't like that either. And then the damage from Furious Charge is 1,000. Like, what was it before? I wish they would go back to putting the old stuff in red. I don't know why they don't now. But
I don't know, if I could access my bank, I could show. But
yeah, what is it? 500? They doubled it. I don't know. The 6-piece bonus, they said hitting enemies with Furious Charge increases the damage of your Ancient Spear by 5,500%.
But we're causing them to release multiple spears.
Yeah,
so
which is
poggers.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't try that out. They added damage mod to Ariat's Law, so that's nice. And weapon throw generates fury based on
they did a interesting thing too with that prior to the 6-piece. They can only consume 5 stacks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but are they?
Wasn't that always like that? Not always, but like recently.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I think Hammer of the Ancients would consume the buff that it put on you too. Is it the same buff? Is it the thing of the same set? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's cool that they capped the stacks, I guess, so you don't burn all your stacks in one throw.
Yeah, 5 stacks.
And then, sorry, I cut you off. Like the Ariat's Law does increase damage, and
right. So the only thing that's really different here is the low life and the 3 instead of 1. Everything else is the same.
The 3 instead of 1.
Spears on 6-piece Raycor.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
damage is the same. But it's 3 instead of 1. Mm-hmm. And low life. So damage isn't technically the same because it's low life juice, but
right. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so the damage mod to Ariat's Law, you get more rage based on how far you are from it. They also added a damage mod to 300 spear, so you're have those. I guess you're going to be dual wielding, because you'll probably want to want both of those plus something in the cube. And then Scholar Salvation increases damage to Ancient Spear by 150 to 200%. If your Ancient Spear Boulder Toss hits 5 or fewer enemies, the damage is increased. So, quite a few things to support the Boulder Toss / weapon throw. Crusader, the Norvalds got a little bit of a nerf, but they were kind of mindful of how necessary Norvalds is for the Thorns gameplay. So it's basically nerf for everything but Norvald or for Thorns. So kind of a big brain play there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Monk was nerfed because like Fire Ally was just insane last season, or this current season. So
they took that off. So this is enemies hit by Cyclone Strike, deal 150 to 200 from your Mystic Ally for 5 seconds. And they're taking the fire from the... Is that just on the... Okay. So the bracers had an additional damage multiplier on just for Fire Ally?
No, it was for all, but they're removing fire from that all, basically.
Oh, okay. It doesn't include. I see.
But yeah, that is pretty much it in terms of... I wish I could... Oh, can I get in? Nope. Oh, never mind. I was gonna. Okay, so you go in, and it's like it is like a trial thing, and it's very reminiscent of the trials. But there's 4 pylons. That's the only thing I guess really to note here. There's 4 pylons that you get to choose when you activate them. So there's a Chanel, there's a shielding, there's a conduit, and there's a power pylon. So
yeah, I saw those, and that's kind of cool because you get to pick when you want to burn them.
Yeah.
You know,
and a way of proccing them. Like, I think that's the biggest, another big complaint for me is, Necros are pretty elite reliant as a class. So, not having any elites in there is kind of sad. It's all the ways are just trash mobs. But anyway, that's just a small little thing. But I mean, nothing new came for Necro this season, so I doubt that tons of players are going to be playing Necro this season.
Yeah, chat's telling us that legendary gems can go into anything with the socket currently. Wait, surely that's a bug.
Oh, man, that's like Nintendo Switch style. Let's try that.
That's gotta be a bug.
Nothing's working.
Yeah, go try it.
I can't.
Oh, is everything still broken?
Everything's lagged. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
that's probably why everything's broken. It's because people are running around with legendary gems in every socket.
Let's get a couple out here. Yeah. I can't.
Esoteric. Could you imagine? Like that'd be some juice, man.
I just have to take something out.
I'm trying it right now. If you're listening, do it. We just wait for it. It'll happen eventually. There we go.
I made the noise.
I did it.
Oh my god.
So
now we got a season. This is exciting.
That actually is exciting if I'm being honest.
Dude.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I would be more hyped to play that than anything else. Actually, to be honest with you,
right?
That'd be fun. It'd be fun for a weekend.
Sure.
Like they should do mini seasons of shit like this, though. Like if they did a mini weekend season of season of socket and boom, you can just go ham. That would be fun, man.
It would
be fun.
So, everyone would play LOD, right? I feel like
I mean,
LOD would be too good.
LOD with every gym and everything. Yeah, that'd be pretty nutty.
Anyways,
pretty full PTR. Not as big as the last couple, but that's understandable. I think the last couple were pretty big.
Yeah. The good thing about this one is like we're probably gonna be a permanent end game activity. I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Yeah.
I would imagine so too. And the PTR fixes, they probably spent a lot of time making PTR better for testing, and so that dev time carry over forever now. I feel like so.
Yes, Coil-X is up, but the server is on fire. Apparently,
the server is dead.
This is some of the worst I've ever seen.
Dead. Yeah.
So. Rip testing.
Pretty cool. Things and stuff.
Things and stuff happening. I'm gonna just exit this because it's can't do anything.
So
go ahead.
I heard you got banned in Lost Ark.
Yes, I did. No, but
you were included in that 1
million bots were banned on Lost Ark. A million.
1 million.
That's insane.
1 million cheaters, and the game's been out like 3 weeks. Like, what the hell, man? 1 million people.
What
million. Are you doing?
That's insane. Free to play games, man.
That's the problem with free to play. There's got to be a paywall to discourage that.
The one problem. And they did. They made it. I forget what the level is now that you can talk in area chat, but you don't see bots as much as you did before, obviously, because you could just like create a dude, span the channel, come by gold, and now you still see it, but it's like it's going to take that bot a little bit more work.
You're not an MMO if you don't have gold
spammers
in chat. Like that's just the way it works. True. But yeah, I think they made it 10 or something. They made it
10 or 20, something like that.
No, you start at 10, so it must be 20.
Right,
10 levels at 20. Yeah.
But yeah, that's good on you, Lost Ark, for getting on top of it. But I also saw a follow-up meme on Reddit. So it's a meme of Amazon Games throwing out 1 million bots, and then the 2 million bots come up.
right behind it. Oh man, are you still addicted to Lost Ark at all? Or
I am. I'm still addicted to Lost Ark POE. I just hit T3 today, which is a big deal. I'm 1100 gear score, so now I'm going to wherever the P island is. Hey, it's your island.
The P island.
Yeah, the P island. Pinuka, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, I think the nerfs made content like obviously easier, and so like you can do more of the raids, and like if you got bad players, it's not like the total end of the world. But I mean, honestly, it's just like it's the Guardian raids and the Abyssal dungeons that carry this game so hard for me, because like the mechanics are legit. They're like legit, stuff that you would probably like World of Warcraft raid style mechanics that like everyone's got to coordinate, everyone's got to get their shit together, everyone's got to be standing in the right place. It's not just like avoid red circles, it's like actual, there's even like memory game mechanics and all that stuff.
Gotta do your thing and do your job.
Yeah.
I think it becomes fun and frustrating when you can't carry people. Like when everybody has to do their role. Yeah. If you don't, you wipe and you kill everybody. Yep. And I think
I literally had a run where, the Abyssal dungeons take a good amount of time. And I was in there. We killed the first 2 bosses. We're like 15, 20 minutes into the dungeon. We get to the 3rd boss, and we discovered that one guy in our group just doesn't speak English. And he doesn't understand the mechanic. And he's literally just like running outside of the one circle he's supposed to stand in, like over and over. And we're trying to be like, hey, stand here. And we're all like getting in a circle and like pinging where he should stand. But like just probably didn't speak English. And like we're just
fucked. So now when you go into an Abyssal, you're like, everybody speak English? Question. Yeah.
So
that sucks, man. That's, was he typing? You could have Google Translated on your phone.
Yeah. No, he wasn't typing at all. He just stood there.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, man.
I also was in another group where the guy kept failing mechanics, and he kept failing mechanics because he was typing out in his own chat like bad team. This is a bad group. We should quit. It's like you're typing instead of doing the mechanic, and you're wiping us, and you're like bad team. Like,
oh man, people. I never,
There are, because there's a tons of players. So I guess I'm surprised because you group in D3 and it's such like a small population comparatively, and so like I just feel like you run into way less noobs overall. Plus the game's been out for like years and years and years.
Yeah,
and I say that, but we've had some immaculately poor group members in some of our season starts. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, so like people are like exceptionally bad in Lost Ark. It's the thing. I've been surprised.
I think you probably surround yourself in D3 with people.
Yeah.
Like, if you're still playing it 13 years later, it's you're probably okay at it at this point. But
right.
I've grouped up with some really bad D3 players as well.
Yeah.
So they're out there. They're out there too. I think the differences with D3 is you can carry really hard in D3. Like, I mean, that's what the game is. Like, you can straight up just blast and carry people and help them out. And I like the fact that the game has mechanics that you can't do that. And, you got to do your job.
Yep.
So I logged in a little bit the other night and played for a little while.
You're full of shit. I saw you like 17 days ago or something.
No, log in. It was like last night, literally. Or the night before. And I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling it. I kind of forced myself to play for a while, and then I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. So I don't.
God, you're killing.
The combat's fun. I don't know what it is, but I can't.
What the state of life you're in right now? Like what excites you these days?
It could. What excites me these days? I don't know. Honestly,
we've been talking about this game on the podcast like 2 years.
I'm not hating on the game.
Finally here.
Just being honest. Just being honest. Maybe it is the state. Maybe I'm working too much, and then I'm tired all the time now. They're grinding me, Fluff. I don't know.
It must be.
Yeah, but that's it's kind of where it's at.
I also saw another meme on Lost Ark, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So, visual representation of sorceress gear progression. You start out with like full pants, go down to like boxers, and then
all the way to
bikini, all the way to like just a little piece of cloth, which is totally not wrong at all.
It's like, here's your magical rope, madam.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Geez.
Totally
that
ridiculous.
Is kind of
funny. And speaking of which, so a pretty juicy update hit last night. on Lost Ark. The Argos raid is finally in. So it's a 1370 phase 1 style Guardian raid, which is like a Guardian raid on crack. There's also a Mario Kart, basically. It's a 7v7 like little race thing where you try to like beat the other team and you can collect cupcakes or something, and that penalizes the other team. I haven't done it yet, but it's available every even hour. And you can do it like once a day. Hour. And the rewards are actually really good. You get coins.
You can only race once a day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
You get these coins are like insane. Like
you better step it up and win that race, dude.
Right. I don't know if you get more because I still haven't done it yet personally, but Proving Grounds Season 1's coming soon. And then I think one of the coolest things, actually not in here, but I favorited it, so no fear. I love this.
Okay.
So check these cosmetics out. These are actual available in-game cosmetics right now on the cash shop. I am all about like dark.
That looks cool. Dark Knight-ish style. That looks dope, dude. Yeah. What's that class is that for?
For the Warriors, Zerker. Got one for like each class, subclass.
So you have to buy them all, each class independently, I would imagine.
You would, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That Demon Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Looks cool. Where's the Sorceress one?
So they got one for each color too, right? So they got the green.
Nice.
The blue.
Okay.
Orange, fire, red. And
you get all the colors when you buy it, or you have to pick?
You have to pick, yeah.
Oh,
and there's a horse to go along with every color. It's also like a deadly looking horse. So I already bought two. Like I have straight up whale because this is like my theme.
How much do they cost, whale?
I actually have no idea.
Wait, you bought them? What do you mean?
Well, I had like the gold juice left over from my premium thing.
Oh, okay.
And then I added like $29 or something.
Okay.
So
two of them cost at least 29 plus.
Yeah, at least probably like 60 plus. I don't know.
Crazy.
Because the premium was like $100.
Yeah, they look really cool, man. I like them.
Yeah.
I don't.
Love this one too. This looks sick. And then obviously my main class. I didn't keep like the cool thing is I already had an outfit for my main where she has pants. Because this one doesn't. So I basically just like kept the chest, which doesn't look as booba as it does here. But I kept the chest and the hat, and the weapons look like absolutely sick. So
yeah.
Really dig the guy one though. That's like insane to me. And
they
the
added
Berserker one.
Yeah, they added some like that looks so Wrath of the Lich King.
It does.
To me.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. But and then the guy one looks familiar too. I'm just trying to put. What does that look like, man? That's reminding me of something, and I'll think of it later. Like I don't know, little
point is
Sub-Zero action, you know?
Yeah,
like a hooded mask with the sleeveless vibe.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's cool though. I like it.
Yeah, I was thinking like there's just like Pat's Exile has like the Demon King skin is really the only one I think that looked really like that evil and badass. I'd probably spend more money in POE if they just had like more evil looking shit. I hate stuff that's like, you know, really colorful or like butterfly bullshit or anything.
Like they got the Tron stuff that's gonna hit the shop eventually.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not into that either.
Seen it in Korea.
In Korea, they had like people with like purple suits, like Joker style suits.
Well, like they launched the game and their pet shop had like those pinata looking animal mounts. Like, what the hell is this? Like this is your launch shop?
You actually show it. I can show it because I have it.
They're so bad. It takes the game like 10 minutes to launch, though.
I know.
Which is weird.
Agreed. So, the anti-cheat thing takes forever.
Is that what you think? That's what's taking it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what's really crappy is any other game that uses easy anti-cheat. So there's a list of games, but Apex uses it.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I was trying to run Lost Ark and Apex at the same time, and I couldn't. It was like you're already running easy anti-cheat version, blah blah blah. You can't close that first. So I couldn't run that. I think Fortnite also uses it. I'm not sure, and maybe Division. So that's kind of a pretty bummer downside. Is if I wanted to, you know, just do the casual easy shit in Lost Ark were playing other games. Oh,
Yeah.
not happening.
Also, kind of hidden. There's, I think there's at least 2 new islands to explore, and there's also a new story quest for people that give a shit about that. But I'm sure there'll be good rewards, so I'll probably end up doing it. But
yeah,
man, I hate fucking questing in this game so much. I actually really what I've noticed. I've really enjoyed the end of tiers. So like, when you get toward the ends of T1, like upgrades are really hard to get. Like, as you fail. And it costs a lot of juice to like try to upgrade, and so you're kind of like, you kind of get stuck and waiting on mats that you're gonna get like the next day or the next day or the next day. I kind of like that because I'm like, cool, I can get on and do on dailies, and then I can try to catch up on all the other amounts of crazy ass content there is in this game, like Island Hearts or like just all this random events that pop up and stuff like that. So now I'm T3 though, so it's picking up again. Damn it.
They got crazy amounts of content, man.
Yeah, they really do.
So many things. It's nutty how much they packed into one game.
Mm-hmm. Come on, load up.
It takes like 10 minutes for this game to launch.
It really does take a long
crazy
time.
Once it's up, it's not bad at all. But
like, it's still wait on the companies to be displayed every single time, and warning: very small percentage of players might have seizures. So be careful, P.
Right, I'll try.
Anytime. Here we go.
Old, you know.
And 5, 4.
Just kidding.
Any day. All right. Entering actively. All right. So I've got 2 people. I got the smaller dude with it on. I got her. I'll just showcase him because he looks like a total badass.
What character class is he?
He is a striker.
Striker. And do other classes share the same armor set, or that specifically is just for strikers?
Good question. I think the shadow or who's the devil hunter was Kriya, the gunner guy with the pistols and the shotgun.
Yeah, he might share.
He shares it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Just looks like sick.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Even his fit, he's got these big ass.
Yeah, like skull fists.
Fist weapon things.
And then to go with it, because you got a match.
Oh, the horse mount looked really cool too.
Yeah.
It was like glowing as he summoned it. Yeah, that's pretty sick. And double jump. They should give him triple jump.
He's got a charge. He like does a quick rush. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that does look. It looks really cool when he dismounts. Like that. That to me is the icing on the cake.
Yep. Like it. Like it. Looks good.
Me too.
Anyways. But yeah, other than that, Path of Exile. So they're about to come out with another community event. This one's team based. They did, I think, one before. And how it works is there's 6 teams, and if you sign up, you're like randomly assigned to one of these teams. So you could be on the same team randomly with like, oh, I'm on Ziz's team, or Steel Mage or whatever. And so you sign up. Today is the last day you can sign up. I think it might even be over all the signups already, but that starts March 11th. So tomorrow. So if you're interested in races and stuff like that.
So is it a race? And if your team wins, you get prizes?
Yes.
Or
prizes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do they have a minimum participation you need to get a prize?
I don't think so.
Because you could have just signed up and then not even participated.
Well, I think you'd have to like create a character and like do that.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like, log in
shitty, right?
For 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. I like that system. That's kind of cool. I think rewards that they can give for community inclusion are really cool because, like I said, one guy can be the first.
Right.
There's millions of players.
Totally.
So if you can do these 6 teams and you randomly get on a team, and if that team wins, you get a prize. Like everybody feels like they were in the race to win, or they had some kind of stake in it. And even if it's a title or a cosmetic skin or something, like I think that's pretty cool, man.
Agreed. And
POE kills it with the event.
I agree. But speaking of POE killing it, they are looking to hire again quite a few positions, and they're tweeting this out and making news updates about it. So I assume they're really, really looking for people, which is great because
did you apply?
Get POE 2 tomorrow. I mean, I would love to, but it seems like they're not super keen on.
Fluff not?
They're not super keen on like expats. It sounds like.
I'm not super keen on what?
Having people come in from other countries just to work, like doing work visas and stuff like that. But also at the same time, the last time I asked, like, if they would have any interest, they asked for a code sample, and I'm not that guy. I don't program outside of work ever. I never will. Never gonna. It's just not ever gonna be a thing. So they're like asking for my GitHub so they can see some of the projects I've worked on, and I'm like, I don't have any. So sorry. I'm not ever gonna fucking do that. No shot. I don't understand that mentality of the programmers that like they work, they're 8 to 5 and they come home and they program for fun. I just don't get that. I'm not into programming. So
it's like, dude, I play your fucking game. What are you talking about? Send you a code sample. Dude, you know what you should do? You should literally apply. And when they're like, can I see your GitHub and your code sample? Link them your Twitch
account.
A Twitch account of you doing shit on POE.
Yeah.
And be like, I know your game. You know what I mean? Right. Like, this is my code sample. And then just be like, no, in all seriousness, this is what I spend my spare time doing, not making GitHub repositories. Like, you know, I hope that you can look past that and give me a shot. Like, that'd be, if somebody did that, I'd be like, okay, I like this guy. Like, let's go. Let's talk to him, you know? So, But no, that's cool. I would think as somebody that plays their game that, you know, if you can prove that, and clearly you could, like, that would be a huge leg up. Like, oh, this guy actually plays ARPGs. He actually plays PoE, understand how it works, and he's going to be developing our game. Like, fuck, can I win any more than that?
I would think, man.
If they offered you a job and you had to move to New Zealand, would you do it?
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't even think twice. I don't care about moving.
You'd be out.
Yeah. The only like downside is like, fuck. The only reason I am still living in my current house is because of this room. Like, no question. Because just the idea of setting this up anywhere else, no way.
It's so much work, man.
But there is still a part. It's like this is like Lindsay and I's house. And it's like there's times still I'm like I'm like, this is too much space for just me. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck.
Like, cuddle a
this
pillow.
Would take so long to set up again. But no, stop doing the thing that you're doing right now. You can just put stop to that right there.
That's my job. The chat loves it, by the way. Listen, you guys in the comments, if you like when I harass Fluff about that, just, you know, give me a good old thumbs up or yes or something. You know, let me know. If you think I'm a jerk, then say it and I'll stop.
You're a jerk.
You know,
I'm saying it, so stop. And then, you know, something we keep joking about, and when it initially happened, it was this big mystery, but Dr. Disrespect tweeted out a little image. He says, moving on, and the image is, I have resolved my legal dispute with Twitch. No party admits to any wrongdoing. Signed.
Does that just mean they paid him a bunch of money? Like, what the hell does that even mean? You got banned from Twitch. It was never disclosed why.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it's over and nobody did anything wrong. You had a contract to stream with them. So that's BS. That's BS.
And then he replied to his own tweet saying, in response to all of your questions, he will not return to Twitch.
Yeah. They just paid him, basically. He won the lawsuit, but he had a a privacy
NDA,
disclosure
maybe?
or something. Yeah. Where he couldn't talk about whatever happened. So weird, man.
Ooh, Rex just hosted, but Rex, give us a one sentence of your thoughts on the seasonal theme so far. Anyways, continue. But yeah, that's kind of it as far as news is concerned. One sentence lag. Okay, well, that's PTR. We're asking about the mechanic. Obviously, it's insanely laggy.
Yeah, just lag.
Just awful lag. Maybe the worst we've seen in like several PTRs. I don't know.
They dusted off the original Diablo 3 server.
They must have. Well, they had to because they reused the PvP maps from original like vanilla D3.
They did, yeah.
And so they had to get that computer back.
They had to spin up those old 3200 RPM platter drives in that Blade server and get those maps out of there.
Yep. So that's where they're hosted on that little Commodore back there. Yeah.
So
okay,
unplayable.
Well, you got any Pchild loves? What do you got?
Ooh, you give me the hates first. What do you hate?
Literally everything. Gosh, I had one ready. I do this every time, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna remember that. I hate it so much. I'm obviously gonna remember that, and then I forget. Like every single time I forget.
Yeah, I didn't write it down. So for me, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see the Batman movie tomorrow night.
Okay.
I'm excited to actually. I haven't gone to the movies in a long ass time. I think the last movie I saw, I think I went to see Eternals, and that was horrible. And before that, I don't even remember. Right. So, to me, I'm kind of excited to go do that. Me and the wifey.
Yeah. For you guys listening, it looks like he replied. Let's see. One sentence. It's a good start. Some tweaks, and it could be fun. Permanent question mark. Game mode. I got 8.7 trillion XP per hour on solo. 500 Paragon DH. That's as good as the best rats. Wait, is that with buff though? I mean, that's obviously XP's buffed.
With the
so is it like as good as buffed rats or? Anyways. Yeah. Hates. Gosh, man. Again, okay, so I was in Colorado and we watched Tinder Swindler, which was okay.
What is that? Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's a Netflix documentary about basically a con artist that's on Tinder, and he's like basically hustling these women. He literally convinces these women to give him like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like to take out personal loans, and it's pretty insane. Pretty interesting.
Did it give you ideas?
Oh, of course. But yeah, like we were all talking about Tinder, and so I downloaded Tinder. I deleted Tinder like forever ago because it was like all robots or Snapchat thirsting girls, right? Mm-hmm. And so I downloaded again, and I was just like, and I'll like hop on it if I'm super bored, just like swipe a bit, and just like it's exactly what it used to be. Like it's just literally every single girl that's like somewhat attractive is just like, oh, add me on Snapchat. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna fucking do that, but good luck with that business plan you have going.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, if only I had $100 to come see you tonight.
Shoot.
Right. Let's jump into some Twitter questions. If you guys want to submit a question to the new podcast, you can tweet at ThaPChild, at Lord__Fluffy, or you can join our Discord servers where we have new meta sections in there and you can drop your questions in there. First question we had was from Key-Ray. He says, what do you think of the new D3 content? That's clearly pretty much what the whole podcast was about. I don't think we need to go into it, but I think Fluff and I probably share the same sentiments. It's nice that they added some stuff. The rewards for the content are a little lackluster, and I think ultimately that's what will make it not as cool as it could have been.
Yeah.
So, but it's,
I think that the two sentence, like the one sentence you said that I agree with was that there's gonna come a point in the season where you're not excited for that thing to happen anymore.
Yeah, which will be really fast.
Which will be pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And that,
it needs to be something they're going to get excited for all season.
If I would hope in a future season they can really look at rewards generated in the game and find ways to make unique rewards that are valuable and reusable. And like your idea, Fluff, of corrupting items, is a reward system that would bring a lot of longevity to the game, especially the randomness that it could bring. I think a primal dust or a primal upgrade system, although I don't really like the ideas of ancients or primals, I think that still would hold some value in the game.
There just needs to be something you're grinding when you're logging into it every day that's not Paragon. Like you want to be grinding that perfect piece of gear. I would even say something like Scourge mechanic. Like obviously corruption I think would be the rank 1 idea, but like Scourge mechanic, you could like put a piece of gear and like that gear gains XP, as you're continuing to do content, and then something happens when that gear hits that XP bar, like something.
It's like Pokemon Go hatch an egg or whatever, right? Yeah, just plug it in there.
There's gotta be something else to do other than +5.
So I don't know if there's time left for them to go back to the drawing table on this new season, but if they could pull some magic out in the reward system, that's the win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, equal 4851 says, he says, how do you remind yourself you're not behind, in quotes, being single in your 30s. I think he meant 40s.
Wait, what? What was that little jab of a question? Reread that for a second.
Okay, how do you remind yourself you're not behind being single in your 30s?
So I should be further along being...
I don't know. I guess he's saying
here's the thing, right? I love this question. It does sound like you're throwing jabs, but it's fine. How do I remind myself that I'm behind by not like being married and having fucking kids? Well, for me personally, that's really easy because I never wanted either of those. So okay. I'm just like back to being single, which is like, yeah, I'm behind again, like as in I don't have like a long-term girlfriend, but like because my goal in life has never been to like have that cookie cutter American lifestyle. I don't see this going backwards.
I think that's a hang up that everybody tries to fall for at some point. Is like everybody's dream doesn't have to be the white picket fence.
Totally.
And I think that's the hang up that even I've been like, so it's like you got a girlfriend, right? Okay, you don't have a girlfriend. When are you going to get a girlfriend?
Right.
You got a girlfriend. When are you going to get married?
So much social pressure.
Yeah. When are you going to have kids? You have kids. When are you going to XYZ?
Yeah.
There's always the next expectation, right? Like, F that, man. Do what you want to do. Totally. Like, why does it matter if you get married? Why does it matter if you have kids? What does it matter if you have a white picket fence? What if you want to live in a trailer park? Like, that's your choice. It's your decision to do whatever you want to do. What makes you happy, right?
Yeah. I mean, deep down, I guess if you were that guy that's like, all I want out of life is just like have a family and have some kids, and you're like in your 40s. Luckily, you're a guy. If you're probably listening to the podcast, and it doesn't matter as much for us, right, as it does for women. So, like, don't worry about it. Would be my advice.
Like, here's my example that I'll go like with myself. Like, I have kids, I have a wife, I have all that stuff. The white picket fence, I got all of that. But it's because I wanted it. I chose to. I still play games. And my wife said something today. I said, I don't even remember what it was. Oh, I said something like, when the kids move out, man, think what I can do with the extra bedrooms we have. Because we have a basement that's got 2 bedrooms down there and like a little theater room and stuff. Like, I can knock out walls and remodel that whole thing. And she's like, you still going to be playing games when you're 50? Like, is that a question? And walked away. It's like, because that's what I want to do. Is it society would look at that and be like, a 50-year-old playing video games? What the hell is he doing with his life? Right. You know what I mean? So do whatever makes you happy, man.
And someone in chat said, 45 female here. Do you think you have pressure? Try being a woman and not wanting any of that. Bro, I can't even, like, can you even imagine? Like the pressure, the social pressure that women get is like insane. Like they can't even like get their tubes tied like by them. You know what I mean? It's like so many hoops they have to jump through, even though it's their own body. Like they still have to like, go. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, my thing is so like you're only behind based on your standards. Don't let society pressure you into doing anything or feeling a certain way. Like that's the same as like body shaming and all the other stuff that goes on. Like if you're happy, who cares, man? Yeah. As long as you're like not killing yourself, but who cares? Do what you want to do. Hex says, do you like your mom or your dad more?
That's an interesting question.
That's an easy ass question for me personally, but I'm more curious as to everybody's response to that because I think I know yours.
Okay.
I'm going to say, based on the history I've been told from you, that you are going to say your mom.
I don't know that I would say my mom.
Okay.
Me and my dad were really close once upon a time, and he has made some, he made some life choices that I didn't particularly agree with. But people make mistakes. I think what I'm going to base mine off of, if I'm like trapped in a room with one of them for extended periods of time, I would much rather have a conversation with my dad than my mom.
Who do you like more?
I'm kind of like mad about both. I don't know.
Who do you love more?
I don't know that like love is a word I would really like. I respect them. I appreciate them. I don't know.
Are you saying you don't love them? Wait, hold on. Stop. What are we saying here? You're saying you don't?
We just
Are
like
you saying
we don't have anything to talk about. It's like anytime I see my
you
parents,
don't
it's like this professional exchange. It's fine.
you don't love your parents? Jesus,
I appreciate
man.
them. I respect them.
This is the weirdest conversation
Oh
that
my
I've ever
god.
had. Yeah, it's my mom for me easily. Like, I barely talk to my dad. Like, he's not like
Oh
he
yeah.
was around when I was little, but he made some life choices that I don't agree with, and I don't really like him that much, if that's the thing. Like, I love him, and I don't wish bad things upon him. I'd help him if he really needed my help, but I don't like him. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
that makes any sense. Like, he's kind of a bad person at times. He's always been really great to me. To me personally, he was phenomenal. And anytime I needed anything, he would be there. Like, I could call my dad up and be like, Dad, my car broke down. I'm in New York City. I need you to drive for 30 hours and come pick me up and bring me home. And he'd be like, all right, I'm on the way. No question. But some of the choices and things he's done to other people, I'm like, man, he's kind of a bad guy. He's kind of a dick. So I pick my mom's. Coda said, what app do you use most on your phone?
Instagram.
Instagram? Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
YouTube. 100%.
Okay. Just like
I
popping
watch
up tutorials and stuff, or
no, just like YouTube is a form of entertainment for me now. So like, I don't listen to music near as much as I used to. I used to listen to music all the time, and now when I have downtime, like here's an example. I don't watch videos when I'm driving, but I listen to videos when I'm driving. So I'll turn my phone on and before I pull out of the driveway, do it safe, guys. I'll find the video I want before I even leave my driveway. I try to get longer ones that'll cover the length of the trip, and I'll hit play. And then I literally will listen to stuff as I drive. But if I'm anywhere and I'll pull videos up. It could be whatever topic I want. It could be game tutorials. It could be podcasts. It could be like informational. Like I do work training stuff. Like I'm like, man, how does this work? And I'll look up a YouTube video to see how stuff works. So yeah, definitely YouTube for me.
okay.
What's second? Let's go to seconds. I'll say.
Let me pull my phone. I mean, I'm Twitter quite a bit.
I would say mail, but that's really work app. So aside from that, yeah, I would say Twitter.
Maybe?
Fitbit, yeah, I'd say Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dot Rush says, "Do you remember the first video game you ever played?"
Ever? Oh man, I think it was Pong.
I think it was Pong.
Pong.
Oh, Pong. Ooh.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, no, of course. So I had an Atari growing up. My older brother had an Atari growing up because I was super, super, super young at the time. This was early 80s. So it would have been an Atari game, 100%. The list of games would have been Pong, Asteroids, Frogger, or Pitfall. So one of those four was probably the first game I ever played.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I would say probably Frogger. If you guys haven't heard of that, if you're young, not boomers like us, then look it up. It's yeah.
I think that first, I mean, Pong was like, wow, this is fun. Like, I didn't know you could like interact with like a television. That's pretty cool. I think the one that was like, wow, this is like a game was Spider Fighter.
I had never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a good Atari game, actually.
Huh. Pong was cool because it was, I mean, it's competitive, right? You played your brother. Well, for me, it was my brothers. I played my brothers or whoever, and did it. I remember the first thing that was really like it for me. My first gaming system was Nintendo. Like I got a Nintendo, and that was kind of mine, and like that was what started it. It was just Mario, Duck Hunt, Track and Field. The triple pack thing.
Yeah.
So. Sauce Boy says, you ever caught somebody? I had to edit this question to make it appropriate, but the edited version said, have you ever caught someone making friendship in public?
What's making friendship? Like doing it?
Doing the dirty. Yeah.
I I've definitely like looked over at another car and like someone has been serviced. I don't know if I've ever caught anyone having sex.
Yeah, man. I have 100%, multiple times actually.
Okay.
So one time, this was very young in my IT career, my first IT job. And I was in charge of taking our server backups off site.
Okay.
And so I forgot the backup drives at work on a Friday. Our office used to close a couple hours earlier on
Where's
Fridays.
this going? Oh God.
Yeah. So I had a date or something. I went out and did my date and, did all that stuff. And then it was like, 11 or 12 o'clock. Man, it wasn't that late. It was probably between 9 and 10. I don't remember exactly. But I drove back to the office to get the backup tapes to take them off site. And I opened the door to the office and I heard it pretty loudly, in one of the back offices. Yeah, they were like, going to town. And I'm like, I was walking in there expecting nobody to be there because there were no cars in the parking lot, right? And I had my key to the front door, and this is like, this is 2000s, early 2000s, like maybe 2000 exactly. And I unlock the door and I walk in. There's no alarm system or anything, and I just hear it, and I'm like, I'm frozen, like at holding the door open. I'm like, oh shit. And I stood there for a second and I'm like, where's it coming from? And I kind of like pinpointed the sound. And then I'm like looking and I'm like, whose car is in the parking lot? And I look and nobody's car's here. And I'm like, okay, what do you do? And then so I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm getting the tapes and leaving. Like, I'm not going to not get the tapes. So I walked back to my office and I grabbed the tapes, and they heard me at some point because it just stopped. You know what I mean? It was like the friendship noises pretty loud, and then it was like crickets. And I didn't act stealthy. I just went through, grabbed the tapes, and then left. And then when I was leaving, so clearly I wanted to know who it was, but I wasn't going to go back there. So I drove, and when I was leaving down the street where the office building was, I was looking in different parking lots, and I saw the receptionist's car in like the parking lot 2 buildings over, because she had a very distinct, like, not common car. Okay. And I'm like, oh, she's trying to be sneaky. She parked her car a couple buildings up and then walked over to the building and was getting
Why are they going to the office? Like,
well, I would assume she was cheating on her husband and didn't have anywhere else to go, would be my guess. I don't know.
Just get like a cheap hotel room or something.
Yeah, it was. You would think maybe. I mean, maybe it was just like a super quickie. I don't know. So
weird.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of crazy. So, but yeah. Acres says, how many games have you spent 1,000+ hours on?
Ooh.
Can you name them?
I probably could name them all if I'm being honest. Gosh. Okay. So, Link to the Past.
1,000. Okay.
Super Mario Bros.
Which one?
The Super Nintendo one. The OG one.
Okay. Mario World. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. As far as anything else on Super Nintendo, 1,000 hours? Probably not.
1,000's a lot, man.
Yeah.
1,000's quite a bit.
Then Final Fantasy 7, 100%.
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers, easily. For 64.
Okay.
GoldenEye, easily.
Halo, of course.
Halo easily. 1, 2, 3, probably even 4 and 5. Not the new one.
1,000 on 5?
Yep.
You got 1,000 on 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Diablo 3. POE, obviously. POE is probably like rank 1 at this point in my life.
You think so?
Maybe. Probably. And Lost Ark, easily between all the regions. Probably at least 1,000 already. Okay. I think that's about it.
My list is probably much shorter than that. I would say World of Warcraft, because I'm probably over 30,000 hours at this point. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And I know I have well over 1,000 hours in Classic. EverQuest too, yeah. If we start at the beginning, Link to the Past. What was the Super Nintendo one where you could switch between the realms? Was that Link to the Past?
Dark World and Light
that was
World?
yeah, for the Super Nintendo one, the
Yeah,
first one.
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, yeah. So that one, if I go back, I would say I probably have 1,000 hours in some Nintendo games. I don't, it's hard to say which ones, but probably like Super Mario or one of those as a kid. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, played so much. But yeah, and then fast forward into the future, World of Warcraft, Diablo, GTA 5, definitely have 1,000 hours in that. I don't know, man. Those are the big boys. I probably have some other ones that are close.
Star
I've been
Wars
playing
Galaxies.
so much Apex. Star Wars Galaxies?
Yep.
Did you? Oh, you played a lot of that one too, didn't
Yep.
you? I think WoW destroyed most of my life, man. Like I once that game came out in 2004, that's all I played. That's really been like
Just
it.
stop. It's a bad game, bro.
It's so good. That's it, man. That's all the questions we had.
There was one from Leviathan. I put.
Oh, okay.
Down.
Did I miss it?
And the Fluff hates. Let's see. I'll pull up.
While you're pulling that up, if you guys want to submit questions, you can tweet at us on Twitter or in our Discords. Links are all over.
Where'd it go? Let me pull it up personally. Copy pasta. Damn it.
If you have it up, you can just read it.
I don't. Like literally. Oh. What is going on? I'm copy pasting it and it's like taking me back to the OneDrive. Stop. There we go. This page doesn't exist. Wait, he deleted it? What the? Leviathan? Yes, he tweeted at me and had us a question. It's gone now. I think it had something to do with like, do you think it's fair to like get mad at players that like really suck? Like, should there be no room for learning mechanics like in games anymore? You know what I mean? Like going in blind and then like figuring it out together kind of such.
Yeah, maybe that goes towards the Lost Ark. It seems like that's a pretty hot topic in Lost Ark, is people not understanding Abyss mechanics.
Yeah.
So do you think it's fair to get
That was my Fluff hates last week. It was me raging about how bad people were.
It's a very fine line, obviously, because you want people to experience the game and learn it. You don't want everybody to be pros day one, like they get some grace period. At the same time, you got to respect other people's time in the game. So if you're the sole reason that we're failing an Abyss dungeon for an hour, I wouldn't want to be that guy, you know?
Okay, let me ask you this, because this is like, WoW has the raid finder, right? Which is kind of meant to be like your intro, isn't it? Yeah. So, but do people go into that totally blind? Is that okay?
No. Well, yeah, you could, and you do. A lot of people do. That's okay. That's okay. People still flame other people for doing that, though. So, like if you go into Raid Finder on week 2, literally the content could be out for 1 week, and you go week 2 and you screw a mechanic up, people are gonna chew your ass. The difference is Raid Finder is so easy, as half your raid could screw the mechanics up and you'd still succeed, usually. But if you go into a raid week 1 in World of Warcraft and you don't know the mechanics, you're gonna get kicked out of the team. 100%. You're expected to have watched videos and guides and understand what you're doing. 100%. You know?
Okay.
So,
well, but maybe there should be a trainer mode. I don't know.
The good raid leaders will go over the mechanics before the fight in a WoW raid anyways, and if you don't suck, you're probably going to be fine. You might need to see it once. You might wipe once because you're like, okay, that's what that thing looks like, you know? But, I never pre-look at the mechanics usually in raids. I'll go in and, the raid leader is going to go over it. He'll tell me, like, healers, you need to stand on XYZ when he casts this. And then it's like, okay. And then you do it. And So, or DPS.
Is that
don't
just
get
like
hit by
special
this.
treatment because you're a healer?
No, or DPS. I play everything, but just saying in general, in retail WoW, most mechanics you could pick up on the fly, unless you suck. I guess you couldn't, but yeah, that's it.
Easy.
Leviathan deleted his tweet.
Yeah, what a rat. What a rat.
I know. Yeah.
Maybe because he works for Blizz now, he can't be asking questions in the
Maybe. I don't know.
the amount of podcast.
Like, wait, not that Lord Fluffy guy. He's banned.
He's blacklisted. I don't know.
He's blacklisted. You can't talk to him. So that's it, man. Thanks for joining us for episode 175. If you want to catch more of me, I'm at PTR on all the places. More than likely, you'll find me on the new metas week by week and doing a random stream every once in a while. And I'm semi MIA at the moment.
Okay. I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those cars on the Twitter. You guys know exactly where to find me. The best goddamn stream on Twitch. We'll see you boys next week for 176. Peace.